rolling.
Can we throw in something about Taylor Swift being annoying, or is that like?
Our producer wants us to throw.
I'm just sick of seeing this white girl.
I think they're sick of seeing themselves too.
Like I'm just over it. And then on Sunday we gonna have to see the damn girl all day.
Oh yeah, for the game.
We're
Super
gonna
Bowl.
that. Hi guys, welcome to the Don't Cancel Us podcast. We lost the video of the next episode, but we want you to know that the audio is still really good, so make sure you stay tuned and listen to know what to do if you have white friends, or if you even have white friends.
Do you have some white friends, y'all?
We talk about it all, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching.
Ciao, ciao.
Hello, and welcome to the Don't Cancel Us podcast.
Woohoo! Oh my God.
A podcast about friendship. We've been friends for decades, and today we want to talk about, do you have white friends? Ooh. Or making friends with people or dating people who are outside of your culture. Okay? I'm one of your hosts, Yasmine Bedward, known as the traveling social media manager. I live my life pretty freely, hopping from country to country while I work remotely. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Chari and Rachel. I'll let them introduce themselves.
That's me. Hey, guys. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Chari Chinyoung-Caston. I am your mindful travel coach. I am in school getting my master's in social work, and I am a travel agent. So that makes a mindful travel coach.
Okay, I am Rachel. I work as an interior designer. So if you're looking for an interior designer, please shout out to my page. I also work as a filmmaker, but create films and documentaries that support very intentional spaces and very safe spaces for Black women mostly. And that makes the Don't Cancel Us podcast.
We did it. Hooray.
No,
we did it. Hey.
That is not our jingle.
Don't come for us.
Don't cancel us. But today we're going to talk about white people. So there was a point in my life where I was like, all the white people in my life pay me. I don't have white friends, but I also don't really.
Whoa. Wait, let's rewind. I need that first statement to come back and land on my ear one more time. It went over my head. It went over.
All the white people in my life pay me.
How did that go?
Like they work for me, or I work for them, or it's some type of transaction where they are giving me money.
Okay.
I am not friends with many white people. I don't know any white people. I couldn't tell you a white person's name.
What?
In my life.
To all the people, to all the white people who have met Yasmine through me.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
I hope you didn't hear that.
Okay, I know two white people.
But the hands in right now.
This is why I didn't want to talk about this, because it makes it seem like I'm racist or I have anything against white people.
Never that.
Here's what the issue is. I can't have white friends like I can't have too many male friends. Like there comes a point where we are going to max out on things to discuss, talk about, and do together. Okay. We're not even going to like the same restaurants, because I know your taste buds different. Like musically, we're not going to hang out at the same place. We're not going to want to go to the same jazz club, babes. You know it. We know it.
We know it.
We're not going to want to go to the same places. You can't even sunbathe with me. So we have already lost many of my main interests. Food, fellowship. We can't do those things together to a certain point. So it's not that I have anything against other cultures, but I find that the places I hang out, I meet other Black people.
And the white pop or Anglo-Saxon population is just
my employees.
Under 20%. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heard. Well,
respectfully. But I've met white people, and I've met
white
neighbors and like white colleagues.
But you're not against like creating a friendship with a white person?
I love white people. I love everyone.
The disclaimers are very like it's almost like she's selling like a vitamin. Like, hey guys, it does all these things, but hey, watch out here now. I
don't use it,
but hey, even when you do use it,
I've heard it's good.
I mean, well, you guys tell me because maybe you guys have a different experience than I do. I mean, I know because all the white people I know I've met through you guys.
This is tough. So I do want to point out that this conversation is interesting because we are all first gen.
Hey.
Okay. So first gen,
Americans.
first gen. Yeah. First generation born in America. All our parents are foreign. So that is something that I think has brought us very close together and allows us to even be friends, honestly, because there's certain things that don't need to be said, and we understand
on a base level. So you understand culturally, like what I mean by
100%.
right? Yes,
100%.
Yes.
I will say, I have brought Anglo-Saxons into the
Rachel's
group.
hand is raised right now.
I have dated them as well.
Okay.
Tell us more. Do they wash their legs?
Ooh, what?
So if you watched episode 1, you learned that I can be a bit emotional. And I have to say that I don't know about the leg situation. All I know is when they showered, they were clean. And I'm all about dating men who are intentional about their hygiene because that's on top of my list.
Yeah.
So if your hygiene good, babes, we're good.
One of my friends dated a white boy, but he was a hunter. And so he couldn't have a scent because when he hunts, you know, animals can smell you.
Okay.
So he was really clean.
All right.
A white. He was a white.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah. So I am the friendlier friend in this group, and so I have connections with both whites and other races. Honestly, I connect with whoever I connect with, and growing up, I think I realized, especially in the dating scene. If you know this, when we were younger, back in the day, whenever that was, being African wasn't a cool thing.
Yeah.
Having an African girlfriend, anything African was just not cute. And so a lot of times white boys appreciated my beauty way more than the black culture did, whether it was female or male. Don't get all.
She's over here crying.
I'm like, so
That's major.
it is.
Yeah, when
And
did you realize that?
I recognized it immediately. Yeah, I was
Spoken
like,
about this before.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know you spoke about it, but I don't think I've heard you had those conversations while we were in high school, like in the midst of it.
No.
Because I think our conversations was like a person is a person. You're just connecting with people because you're connecting with people, whether they were German or African American or African. That was the friend I knew you as. But when we had like post conversations, then this is what you brought up to me.
Just learning like, oh, the black people ain't checking for you like that. Like you either got to date another African or someone completely out of your race. And for me, I was like, if you appreciate my beauty, then I'm gonna learn to love you the same. Like I used to say crazy things that I'm not even gonna repeat on here, but I appreciated that they saw my beauty and respected it and, and loved me for it. And so I welcomed them 100%. Not like I was lacking or anything, but I was like, oh, if you love me and you like this and you're attracted to this, then, and I like you back, let's do it. And so that's where my connections with white people have come from. I will say there are times in dating white men, even as an adult, where I'm like, I see where people come, like people say they don't want to date a white man. Yeah. As a black woman, as an African woman, I get it. And a lot of times I'm
doing
torn.
That stuff like that. It's like a moment of, do you go doing that thing?
Yeah. Or not doing that thing.
Okay.
Like not being aware, not being hyper aware.
Not cleaning your meat before you cook it.
Wow. I didn't know we were going to go there.
I think she's been sitting on that one. If it's just me, I have to say.
She was trying to get that in there.
I don't let them cook.
I don't let them cook.
I'm sorry, but they have it.
But okay, Rachel's a cook.
I'm African. I'm woman-based family. Like, I got that. Not that you can't, but I'm gonna season the meat you put on the grill. Yeah. So, yeah. That's kind of how that's happened, and I get the struggle. As I was saying, I get the struggle
as far as like just dating or just having a white friend.
No, dating them.
Okay,
and sometimes recognizing being in certain spaces where you're treated differently and they're not aware of it.
Oh, yeah. That's important.
That's happened to me a few times. Ooh, and I bring attention to it, but I also don't want to be that person, because my mother has said in the past, like, you don't want to talk about politics with a man, religion, and like racism. Like, don't bring these... When meeting someone and getting to know a man, you don't want to bring certain hyper-focus that will create a rift too soon when you're meeting someone, right? So just kind of let them flow. Of course, don't date a racist, but like, just don't make these...
Rule number one.
Right. And so she would say things like that, which I can understand, where I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying. Like, you don't allow space for certain connections to happen if you are starting at those topics.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so...
I'm so sorry that was your intro to white, like that culture, because you weren't accepted by our own culture.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
it was, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, because this didn't happen, but it definitely allowed
it played a part.
It played a part.
Yeah,
a huge part.
Sure.
Just noticing like, oh, you know, boys wanted light-skinned girls because that was what the thing was. And I had only light-skinned friends. So I immediately felt it.
Yeah. And I think this is a great segue for me of like, this topic is really hard.
No, wait. This is a great, because I'm the light-skinned one.
No, because that was literally going to be my point. Because I'm mixed race, I'm not anti-mixing race. Like, I'm not.
Okay.
Yasmine's experience is not something that I would tell or want my daughter to feel, because I'm mixed race. Like, that is just a part of my culture. That is who I am. I feel what you're feeling from her, and I'm like, girl,
cut it out.
Yes, get in the back of the bus.
I'm sorry for sympathizing. My bad. Excuse me.
No, what I'm getting to is that I understand the layers of being aware. I understand the layers of culture is different for everybody, but I'm also not the person who likes to generalize things or try not to generalize. So this topic was very, for me, like clickbaity, because we wanted you guys to come in the conversation of, do you have white friends? And to really challenge yourself and think about if you do or if you don't. And for me, I have a few white friends, but the but comes in. My culture and where I kind of stand is I'm a Black person. Like, I relate more to the Jamaican side of me. So for me, for me to not understand and sympathize for people who are like, I only date Black men, I only have Black friends, because you are who your society is. That's exactly what is social work. A lot of people get confused on what is social work. Social work is the study of your society impacting your behavior. That's literally what I do day in and day out. So generalizing a specific population could be your experience, but that may not be the entirety of the culture, because
for sure,
as we know, we've met amazing white people. We met amazing people who are totally different races than who we are, and they can teach us some things.
Some of my best friends are of other races, and I literally had someone pay me reparations on Instagram one time.
What?
Like, a white guy that I follow, like.
Right. It is tough. I wish I could.
It's tough watching him make his avocado toast every day, but he did a post, something about race or whatever, and then it was like something about reparations, and we were just having a dialogue in the comments.
You knew him or you didn't?
I didn't know him. We just followed. This was just a conversation in the comments of his post.
Okay.
And this white woman came along and was like, "Hey, what's your Venmo?" or something like that, because reparations. I think she sent me like $150.
Oh,
Wow. And you didn't tag
random white
your
woman.
other black friends. Because like,
That
why
part.
not?
I don't think it was that type of
sending
moment.
checks out?
I don't think it was that type of moment. I think it was like, when you're having these debates and then it's like, okay, like you've raised a point. Like, let's, okay.
I appreciate this,
right.
this
It was
perspective
like
that
a
you
little
brought.
tip,
Okay.
I guess.
You got tip. I'm not sure if that was
$150 worth of
And I have had a white boyfriend. So, and I like the white people that and friends of other cultures that I've gotten to hang around and like gotten to know really mean so much to me. I don't mean to generalize, but it is like a stereotype that's funny about them.
It is a stereotype, and I like that Rachel mentioned that we're all first gen because our culture, specifically Yasmine, wow,
Okay.
Yasmine and I's culture have like a stigma against Black Americans and just like having a Black American marrying them or dating them or courting
Same
them.
here with-
right,
Same here.
it's not the same as bringing a white man home, but there is a rift.
Close.
It's
There's a
something.
rift
Yeah.
between like bringing a Black American home, and that difference in culture is huge, even though the skin tone is similar.
Yeah. My white boyfriend broke up with me before we got to the car because his mom, he got nervous. He didn't want to introduce me to his mom, so he broke up with me.
Like, what about your parents?
On the way. My parents just want me to be chosen so bad. I could bring home a rhinoceros and they would be like grateful. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say none of my relationships, at least that I know of, well, actually, had to do with race in terms of like breaking up. Like,
Okay.
there being an issue. Most times, I've been in a relationship before where the mom of the guy I was dating who was white was like obsessed with me.
Oh,
Like first time meeting me, she had a whole
she wanted to
photo
touch your
shoot with me.
hair. Oh, like
Oh.
when we go to Asia and they're like, oh, let me take a picture with you
Yes.
because you're like a Barbie to them.
Yeah,
or
she
in a sense.
literally was like, wow, you are stunning.
Yeah.
Took photos with me, like a full photo shoot in their backyard.
Like traveling.
in,
How
like,
did you feel?
Like
in these moments, most times I feel like they appreciate me.
Okay,
I
okay. You didn't take offense.
No, but then
Okay.
when I say it out loud and I get
Reactions.
looks and I'm like, whoa, was this one of those things where I was supposed to be like, no, you can't do this, white
Right,
person?
yeah.
I felt weird. Like, oh, I thought it was a bit much, but I was like,
I'm here
I'm
for
being
it, baby.
appreciated.
It's a photo shoot,
but it
baby.
also speaks to your introduction of being appreciated by that, by that culture more than our own. So I think it tracks. It's a feeling of being appreciated.
it tracks, but interestingly enough, when once I got older, then the attraction switched to, not switch, but I started having black men, but it was older black men. So then it turned into, older black men appreciate my beauty because it's like, now they can see my beauty. But my age was still like not understanding the whole African thing. And now everybody want to be in Ghana. I mean, it's crazy.
Chris Brown.
Hey.
I think
Yeah.
you guys remember the "Don't Touch My Hair" era. It's still a thing right now, and I like that you mentioned that because when I was in Asia, I had like my big hair and people would touch it, but then when I say it aloud amongst other Black travelers, they're like, "Girl, why you let them touch your hair?" And I'm like, "It's okay." Like
I allowed it.
I allowed it, even though some of them will just come right in. I didn't find offense to it, but when I say it out loud, it almost makes you feel like you're sinking in your seat, and it's like
your
should
black
I?
card is about to be snatched out your
Revoked
hand
immediately.
Yeah. I think people take offense to things that haven't really been done to them before. Because I remember when they did some exhibit in Central Park with these black women that wore these t-shirts like "Touch My Hair." And it was like a group of them like lined up and like literally
They just
people
stood there.
petting them with consent.
That
Okay.
makes me think of other things.
Yes. And I think I am quick to be like, oh, you let them people touch your hair. Just the feeling.
You let them people.
Oh my God. But I've never been in those. I have been in those situations where white or other cultures, I don't want to keep picking on white people. Picking.
You know she gonna do it. You know she gonna do it.
Where they are genuinely curious
Genuinely.
and like are having a learning moment. They're not ignorant about it. It's not like, oh, let me pet you and da-da-da. They're genuine like, wow, did your hair go like that? How does it happen? Your cheekbones.
Especially if it's a child.
Your skin. Like they're genuinely fascinated by us.
Well, the contradiction about me is I let it happen abroad, but as soon as I hit the States, baby, don't touch my hair.
You have said that.
Because it's just like, we're in America, you have resources. Like, we're not petting anybody here. It's
crazy.
not like it's just personal boundaries of like, we're not doing that to anybody. So what makes you think that
it's okay to do it here?
But what if there's people from other cultures in America?
I can give them a pass.
Yeah, I
can give them a pass. But if you, Karen, baby, no.
Give me 50 feet.
Becky with the good hair.
Come on. You listen to the Solange song. You have iTunes on your phone.
I don't think that's fair. I feel like
it's a contradiction.
I feel like white
did say that.
Americans, okay, because they're more like, because
they're curious. They're
it's happening right in front of them, and they're just like
when they become super comfortable
Kamala
with
Harris.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to have this conversation with you. Oh my gosh.
Literally. And I do the same thing. I worked at a Jewish company and I was like, tell me about the tendrils. Like, what is going on?
I have an obsession with them.
As soon as there was like a young millennial that joined the office, I was like, we need to talk, girl.
But I think that it's kind of healthy because it is two people being curious and sharing.
Yeah.
It's not like you took off their situation and put it on your head.
I didn't do all that.
I mean,
Or say, girl, what's this?
Like how she wanted to design a pillow that said, bye, Felicia. I said, what does that mean? And she didn't know. I said, that's why we're not doing it.
Okay.
I mean, I've had instances where I was abroad with friends and I had like a dad come up to me and say, hey, my daughter wants to touch your hair.
Oh.
Okay.
And granted, I had very like red orange hair, that Rihanna color back in the early 2000s.
Hello.
Down to my ankle braids.
Ankle.
And so it was like, okay, I could see why you see my face and you see this hair going all the way
Mermaid.
down to a mermaid. She really thought she saw a real life mermaid. And so she literally was like this. And her dad was like, is it okay? You know? And I was like, sure. And my friend, was literally just showed out right in front of them, in front of me, walked away, made a whole scene like I did something to her in that moment.
And right.
Oh my gosh, Qua! I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know
your
what
own hair.
with my body.
That's what I'm saying. People
Literally walked off. Like,
people get
how
angry
dare you? Don't
about
let them
things.
touch you.
Right.
I'm like, girl,
That sounds hurt.
it was deep. And I couldn't tap in.
It is deep for a lot of Black Americans, which I think when we talk about being first generation American, this is what we mean. Those cultural differences. If you just step outside of the country for just 2 seconds, you don't even got to go far. You can go to Mexico. Okay. You can go to Miami.
You can go to Louisiana.
You don't have to go far to really see that you are, as a Black person, appreciated. You're appreciated. And it's a fascination and a curious. And intuitively, you know, like, I'm not going to let anybody touch my hair. If I felt uncomfortable, I wouldn't let it happen.
Yeah.
But I think we just have to, let some of these cultures exist in spaces and like be open to them and learn about what, just salt and pepper on a salmon tastes like, I think that's important.
One of my favorite travelers, her name is like Glow Graphics. I think you guys may be familiar with her. It's like at Glow. I think her name is Gloria, but her Instagram is like Glow Graphics. And she's one of the bigger travel influencers. And she just got married to her husband who's European. I'm not sure which country he's from, but she had mentioned similarly to Rachel is that she had more of an appreciation, or they had more of an appreciation of her being a Black woman and wanted to have conversations with her instead of assuming with her past relationships with the Black men. Granted, she did mention like she wasn't like anti-Black men. It just so happened that she was traveling Europe and that was the population at the time. However, she did feel a difference in the appreciation. And she wanted to plug like, my black girls, my black queens, y'all need to go out and travel and find your man. Like, yes, you may find your man or your partner here in the States, but they also exist.
There's love outside.
There's love outside.
There's love outside.
And friends too. Friends.
Yeah. 100%.
Exotic to American men
don't say it.
is a very specific look. We're not going
Very
to say what it is. Okay, but exotic to other men in other countries can mean something totally different. Like you could be the exotic girl in Guatemala or Germany or wherever. You got to leave America. It's not that
We're
bad.
going to tie it back to travel in one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of travel, what are y'all thoughts of us doing like a whole trip? Don't cancel us girls trip or don't cancel us fan trip where we all come together and maybe in Guatemala and we create content. We have deep conversations.
We're going to have a conversation.
We're going to have a conversation.
At the end of the day,
Yeah,
we're going to
you
do
got to
that.
come with your spirit strong because one thing we're going to do is we're going to tap in.
Tap in. Yeah.
Speaking of tap in, make sure you tap the like button, subscribe button, join us on this journey to friendship. Make sure you're following us on all platforms. Don't cancel us.
Yay.
Hello. And before we go, don't cancel me, but
Ooh, I'm always not ready for this.
it happens every episode.
I know.
Okay, go, Rachel.
I wasn't ready.
Okay.
I was ready to
don't
laugh.
Cancel me, but I've been taking on some clients and a lot of them are men. Ooh. And I am struggling like when I know that they're kind of like attracted to me because one, they will say it. And I'm just like, we're in a room with the door being closed and I'm just like, ooh. And we're like I can feel the person undressing me with their eyes. They're telling me about their life and their struggles, and I'm their therapist in
Pulling
this
your
space.
shirt up?
A lot of times,
Mr. Jenkins.
granted, it's just been like a few times.
Husband.
And I have a husband. It's just been a few times that I felt that way, but yeah, don't cancel me. But as a new therapist, I'm still working on that. So if you are a therapist listening to this, what are some tips? What are some things that you do to kind of create your own boundary? Because one thing I do and I say is I have a, what I got?
Husband.
I got a husband. They
She
know
has a
that.
husband.
They know that.
She has a husband.
I have one. Mm-hmm. But I don't stop a lot of people.
Don't stop. Maybe y'all people, really.
Right.
Right circumstances, right this. It stops me, though. I'm going to say that. Y'all know I don't play with it. Listen, the moment I see a ring on somebody, look
That's
the other
actually
way.
a good topic, too.
Yeah.
Married,
Dating men?
married.
Dating married men? I have a lot of experience with that.
Drop on the clues bombs for that real quick. Because, baby.
We are surprised every time she says something. Hey, listen, we are friends, but we don't know everything.
That part.
Okay? That's something I live by. You never know.
And dating older men.
Oh, well.
Okay.
That's.
Oh my gosh.
Don't cancel
I wrote a
Yasmine,
thesis on that one.
I dated my friend's dad.
You ever heard? You know what? We're gonna have to play some African music up in here one of these days. Okay. There's a song. This girl says,
Oh, you sent it to us one
"Yes,
time.
I will date your father."
And I will.
Don't mess with me.
Hello. Love you, mean it.
All right, Rachel, wrap us up here.
Don't cancel me, but
Tell us about that time that you were babysitting.
babysitting.
And
Ew, she's talking about sniffing
the snot
with your mouth.
with your mouth.
Don't cancel me, but growing up, I thought it was cool to back to the whole first gen thing.
I can't believe we forced this out of her.
You don't have to
So
share it.
sad.
We can definitely edit this out.
No. When I would babysit like family members, like young kids, I would suck the snot out of their nose with my mouth
Yeah, and that's
to help them.
Yeah.
And Don't think I'm swallowing your shit. But
Oh.
but yeah, I did. And will I do it again? I will do it again.
That was the one rule I got about giving oral. Never swallow.
Listen, some people feel differently.
My
And on that note,
thank you so much for watching. Make sure you join our Patreon because we talk about more spicy topics over there. We'll see you on the next episode.
we love you for listening and watching.